Hello everyone, my name is Eloise and you're listening to Techno Teachers, where we discuss all things media and tech in education.
Hello, and my name is Lily, and we're here today to discuss interactive whiteboards.
Oh my goodness, I remember being a kid in elementary school and having an interactive whiteboard for the first time ever. I was so excited.
I remember that too. Every student wanted to try it and they thought it was so cool.
I even remember that some kids would argue with each other about who would get to use this whiteboard for the first time. It caused so much drama.
I agree. Everyone wanted to use it. It was like the coolest thing ever.
Yes, brings back so many memories.
I agree.
So as a future teacher, and I'm sure you have the same opinion as I do, but I will definitely use whiteboards, and I know that they are an important asset to have in the classroom. And well, I hope that you guys are excited for this podcast today because you will learn much more about whiteboards. Stay close because after the break, my dear friend Lily will share some essential research about interactive whiteboards. Stay close.
Welcome back to Techno Teachers. So, with the research, I recently read an article from 2010 from the University of Southern Mississippi, and they wrote about teaching with the interactive whiteboards. They say that it is an engaging way to provide instruction. It was also mentioned that these whiteboards facilitate lesson planning and differentiated instruction. There's also many other things that teachers can do with interactive whiteboards. They can play music, play videos, watch movies, show the activity book, write on the board, and so much more, which is so engaging for students, which is essential when teaching.
I agree, and it is fascinating how much technology has evolved since we were in elementary school, and I am glad because kids today are born in an era when technology surrounds them, and technology also facilitates teachers' lives so much.
I agree. Another thing that I wanted to talk about the article is when it was mentioned that although many benefits may be derived from using this technology, teachers need to remember that whiteboards is a tool and does not replace good teaching. After all, if technology is very present in our lives, it can be used in excess.
I totally agree. And that's why it's important for teachers to find a balance between using technology and using more traditional methods for teaching, because kids cannot become too obsessed with technology. So I think that it's an important point to discuss. Well, thank you for sharing this article, Lily. It was super interesting.
My pleasure. Now let's take a short break and then we will share with you some awesome applications that you can use on the whiteboard.
Stay tuned. Welcome back. First, I would love to share the website Teachers Pay Teachers. Have you ever heard of it, Lily?
No, I haven't, but I'm excited. Tell me more, Elo.
Perfect. So there are many ways, many different resources for teachers, and these resources are for every single grade in elementary school. They provide worksheets, lesson plans, printables, assessments, and much more. But if we're looking more precisely at what Teachers Pay Teachers can provide for interactive whiteboards, well, they can give you resources to use time timers on the board, and this can be easily interesting. And I think that when you're a child and your teacher tells you, well, you have 15 minutes more before recess, it can seem like such a long time for a student. So by putting this time timer on the board, I think that it provides a sense of security for them to know that, okay, after I'm done with my work, I can go outside.
And it also provides a more visual representation of the time,
course,
where the students actually can see the time go by and the time go down. So it also is playing into different competencies where students can actually learn to read a clock and see the time.
That is perfect. And also on this resource, you can find cute ways to set up the whiteboard so that not only the students see the time, but they also see little birds or nature. So that's really interesting.
Students love that kind of stuff. It's much more engaging.
Of course, and you can even find resources to put up music on the whiteboard. So this is definitely useful.
Wow, interesting.
So the second resource that I wanted to share with you guys today is Class Dojo. I used this resource when I was doing my first field experience, and the children absolutely loved it. So Class Dojo really creates a community with the teacher, their students, and the parents. The teacher can communicate with the parents and write them emails, and the teacher can also share the work that has to be done for the week, and the teacher can also share images of the projects that they're doing throughout the school year. And the last thing that I want to add, the thing on Class Dojo that I find the most interactive on the whiteboard, is that if ever a teacher uses a system for good behavior with points, at the end of the day, the teacher can put up these points on Class Dojo and can even decide for their students to go themselves up to the whiteboard and select the amount of points that they got, and they each have a little character, and it is so cute.
Wow, so relating back to what you said about parents and teachers, I find that building a relationship parent-teachers is so important, and like as you mentioned, this would be a great resource to be able to do that. And then with the kids being able, that's such a more interactive way that the kids can engage with the whiteboards and in the classroom. So I really like that. Thank you for sharing.
Of course. So I think that, a lot of teachers use different systems for good behavior, but by doing it on the board, it really incorporates technology into the classroom, which is super interesting. Well, thank you for listening, but after the short break, I will share one last resource that I have found particularly useful. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So finally, there is the Show Me Interactive Whiteboard. I love this because you can screencast from your iOS device. The teacher can share pictures, you can do drawings, you can voice record, and much more. I definitely think you should try it. For example, if the teacher went on a trip and comes back to school, she can connect her iPad to the whiteboard and share pictures of her vacation. And then she could also host an activity on learning about different countries.
Wow, that's so great. Honestly, whiteboards are amazing for so many different things, and they're essential for teachers of generation if they're incorporated in the right way.
You said that so perfectly. That's why we make such a great team. All right, everyone, before we let you go, let's not forget that it is essential for teachers to make sure that they do not share any personal information about themselves or about their students on the interactive whiteboard. So it is important for teachers to make sure that whatever is on their computer is okay and appropriate for all children.
As well, there are limitations with whiteboards as it is not accessible for every school and possible for schools to have the resources to be able to have whiteboards in the classroom. So this is something that we also have to keep in mind with whiteboards, that not everyone has access to whiteboards in the classroom.
Of course. The pleasure, and we hope to see you next week for another episode
of Techno Teachers.
Thank you.